Welcome back to another episode of Breaking Barriers. I'm your host, Eric Payne. So, I'm going to get into what a lot of people are curious about. So, I'm going to show you a couple pictures. One is going to be me as a 23-year-old, and then the other one is going to be me when I got out of prison. So, please enjoy the show. Because a lot of people look at me as this guy that has always been big his whole life, and I beg to differ. I'm 6'3", 240 pounds now, but in this picture here, I am only 6'3", 170 pounds. And it's hard to believe that how I went from that picture to this monstrosity here. It was a necessity. That's a funky word. But the one thing people don't understand is when you go to a place like prison, only the strong survive. Like, I like to scrap, but at 170 pounds in a place where people are 3 times my size and in really good shape, I had to be a force to be reckoned with. So prison doesn't really reform people to be law-abiding citizens, because there's just not enough support and enough funding to get the people that are serving time the correct help that they need so that when they get out, they can be upstanding citizens. So when you go to prison, when I went to prison at 170 pounds, scared to death, not gonna lie, I'm in there, I'm at a maximum security gang unit, scared to death. Killers, murderers, rapists, you name it, robbers, you name it, gang ties, MS-13, you name it, they were there. So I just did what everybody else did. I read a whole bunch of nutrition magazines and worked out to the best of my ability. And that's how you got this monster right here. And I went from this to that monster right there. So when I started working out, you can press weight all you want, but if you don't do cardio, all you're going to do is get slow. So I had to still be able to fight, but still be bigger than everybody else. So I had to work on foot movements. I was in a cell, so I could work on boxing drills and cardio and foot movement, head movement, just like a regular, like you would at a class, but we had to do it ourselves. Prison makes warriors. If you're not an animal when you go in that place, you will be when you leave. Otherwise, you're a bitch. And that's just the facts. Any documentary you watch, any movie you watch, it's pretty close. Some can be far-fetched. But also while I was in there, I was trying to better myself so that when I got out, I actually had something to go and give the world. So I learned how to do electrical and plumbing. So I am certified in electrical and plumbing. I do a lot of my electrical work on my own house myself, but I've never used it. But I had it there for a backup plan because I thought I was going to stay in Virginia, and I ended up coming to Oklahoma. So you can only imagine the job market in Virginia is not like the job market is in Oklahoma. I came to Oklahoma, worked in the oil field starting out, and now I have a comfy job, making good money, and I get to be home with my wife every day and build a life together. Prison is not something that you should take lightly. And it's sad that society looks down on people like me, because they feel like they are better than us. But in reality, the only difference is people like me, we got caught and you didn't. I didn't have mommy and daddy's money to bail me out. So the next time you hear about somebody trying to better themselves and they have a background, a bad background, encourage them, lift them up, help them to accomplish something. Don't keep kicking them down. I hate that. The last person that told me that I was where I should have been, and that there was nothing for me and he was never going to give me a shot. I mean, I hate to say it, but I whooped his ass. And not in a nice way. But it's people like that we don't need in the world. There's already enough ugly in the world. So the next time you see a person or talk to somebody that's trying to better themselves, lift them up, even if it's just in some encouraging words. Help them be better. Because the more better people we have out here, the better life is for everybody. But I love you guys. I appreciate you tuning in. If you're not following me on Facebook, go follow me on Facebook. If you're not following me on here, hit that subscribe button, like it, share it, comment. I answer questions. Have a great night.